I make my living producing live sports. I sit in the control room with 25 cameras, 6 replay channels, 3 graphics machines, and 25 people depending on me to make the right decision in 3 seconds. And if I don't make the right decision, hundreds of thousands of people are going to know my mistake. I play college football. I know what it's like to be in the best shape of your life and to use your body as a tool. But about 18 months ago, I was getting ready for a family picture and I looked in the mirror and I didn't recognize myself. Not in a dramatic way, not in a rock bottom moment, but just a thought. That person in the mirror is not who I think I am. 11 months later, I'm down 135 pounds. And it wasn't a program, it wasn't a supplement, it wasn't a planned transformation. It was a lot more complicated than that. This is Producing Smoke, and I'm glad you're here. So let me back up here because context matters. I grew up playing football. I played in college. And if you've ever been a college athlete, you know what that does to your identity. It becomes everything. Your schedule, your friendships, your sense of self-worth. You wake up, you train, you compete, you eat to perform. Your body isn't just your body. It's your job. And then one day it ends and nobody prepares you for that end. I found my second calling in television. Specifically live sports production, the kind where you're sitting in a truck or a control room in a stadium and you're producing a live movie for all those fans in the stands and for the hundreds of thousands of people watching around the world. You are their eyes of the sport. I produce high-level Division I sports on the worldwide leader, football Saturdays, big-time basketball games with the whole thing, and I love this job. I genuinely love what I do. There's nothing like the controlled chaos of live television. Every show is different. Every show is a problem to solve. It's the closest thing that I've ever found to the pressure of playing the game. But here's what that looks like. Hotel rooms and late nights. Games that last into the wee hours of the morning. Early mornings to get to shoot around. Catering food that doesn't align with your diet, comfort food late at night when you roll back home and you're just so hungry. And then I became a dad. And I have a daughter. And everything changed. When she was born, something shifted. I started seeing myself through her eyes. I didn't like what I saw. So here's the honest version of how all this started. It wasn't a doctor's visit where someone read me an alarming number. It wasn't this big dramatic moment. There were 3 things that stacked up together. First, pictures. My daughter was a year old, we're doing these family photos, and I kept looking at them and I didn't like what I saw. Not in a self-loathing way, but in a, that's not who I want to be. Secondly, I used to be an athlete, and I'm not talking about nostalgia. I'm talking about the fact that I know what my body is capable of. I've been in incredible shape. And somewhere in my 30s, in my late 20s, I just stopped acting like that was still something I could do. Like that version of myself was locked behind a door I'd lost the key to. That bothered me more than the number on the scale. It was the fact that that part of my life was over. Third, this is what got me off the couch. I wanted to go to Disney World with my daughter. And I started doing research for the trip, and I thought back to a few years ago when I went to an amusement park and I couldn't physically fit on the rides. And I'm looking at weight limits and height requirements and videos, and I start to panic. What if I can't ride rides with my daughter at Disney World? What if I am having to watch this trip instead of experience this trip because of decisions that I've made? That was it. I didn't want to be on the sidelines. I wanted to be back in the game. So I made a decision. No big announcement, no before photo posted, just a decision that I'm going to start taking my health seriously. I'm going to tell you what I've done, what I've eaten, how I've trained, and how I've managed to do this while working a ridiculously hard career that is not putting you in a situation to succeed at a weight loss journey. That's all coming on this YouTube channel. But first I need to tell you about the other thing I love. Because this channel is not just about weight loss. That's one fire. There are others. I'm an amateur barbecue pitmaster. And when I say amateur, I'm not competing. I'm not a professional. I'm a guy who has spent time learning the craft of low and slow cooking because it's something that I just love to do and I love the art of it. Here's what I figured out. I learned that great barbecue and live television have the same DNA. You do prep, you set your conditions, then you let it go. You can't rush a brisket, you can't force smoke. You tweak and adjust, but at some point you just have to trust the process, stay patient. And that is how you produce a live sporting event. Plot twist. It's also how you lose 135 pounds. Slowly, consistently, and without forcing it. Here's what this channel is going to be. It's going to be me, live TV producer, a former college football player, an amateur pitmaster, and a girl dad. Being honest about all of this. The wins, the weeks where things go right, the cooks that didn't go right, the days either on the road or in the control room where everything just doesn't work out. But also the moments with my little girl that remind me of why it all matters. You're going to go inside a live sports production in the way that you've never seen it before, whether that be in a truck or a control room or whatever. I've spent my whole career telling other people's stories, and now I'm ready to tell my own. You're going to watch me cook, pun intended. And I'm going to explain why I make certain decisions, why a certain graphic goes in at a certain time, why a certain replay is chosen at a certain opportunity. And you're going to get to keep watching me lose weight. Or having weeks where it's hard. And I'm going to be real about both. Because that's the only version that's actually useful to anyone. And every once in a while, you're going to get to see my little girl. Because she's the reason why we do all of this. The smoke doesn't lie. The camera doesn't lie. And on this channel, I won't either. If any of this sounds like something you want to follow along with, hit subscribe. There's no trailer, no hype video, no coming soon post. The next video is already in progress. We're going. This is live sports. It waits for nobody. If you're a former athlete who's somewhere in the middle of figuring out what discipline looks like after your playing days are over, this is for you. If you've sat in a production truck or you've never sat in a production truck and you're interested in what happens behind the scenes, this is for you. If you love barbecue and you want somebody to explain what's happening, this is for you. If you're a dad who just wants to feel better and ride rides with your daughter at Disney World, this channel is definitely for you. This is Producing Smoke. And 3, 2, 1, we're working.